Today I'm cooking with my kids. This is
Hamza.
And this is
Lula.
Subah Wanaksen. My name is Bashir Munye, culinary professor and food advocate here in Toronto. And today we are going to make a beautiful recipe that is inspired from West Africa. It's called the Poulet Mafé, and it's a peanut stew chicken. I really love and thrive in finding the intersectionality between local food and diversity as well. When I was a child, my mother have taken me to a particular neighborhood in Rome called the Stazione Termini. It's the main train station, and a lot of Africans were around that neighborhood, so I was blessed and privileged enough to go to their home and learn what makes this dish really beautiful. I grew up in Italy, and in the train station, outside the station, there is a neighborhood called Il Quartiere Africano, which is basically the African quarter. And my mother had taken me to this apartment, and the whole floor was like full of children running around the floor. And the smell of that house was like so beautiful. I can smell ginger, I can smell peanuts, and then there was like a fishy smell. And it was like pungent, provocative, but it wasn't offensive. For this particular recipe, we use the chicken thighs. Because for a braised item, I prefer the darker meat. It holds really, really well, and the meat after that is stewed for a long time, it stays soft and tender. In this bowl, overnight, we have marinated chicken with garlic, ginger, lime, and a little bit of a salt. It's been marinated for at least 24 hours, so the chicken, because of all this acidity, breaks down the enzyme, it becomes really tender. Today I'm using Canadian chicken. The thing that really gets me excited is the fact that here in Southern Ontario now we are growing okra. We can grow ginger as well as turmeric. So part of my advocacy here in Toronto is to engage diverse farmers to grow food that is culturally appropriate to us.
My favorite thing is probably the plantains.
Yeah, growing up, I'm used to seeing most of this kind of stuff. Whenever my friends would come over, they'd be like, what are these things? And my dad would like introduce a million different types of vegetables or like anything to a lot of my friends, and they'd be like confused but also surprised, and like most of them.
The staple in a lot of West African cooking, it's actually palm oil. So this will be the equivalent to Italians with olive oil. So now what I really want to do, I'm gonna brown the chicken. The beautiful thing about this particular dish right here, it can be as hot and as mild as you want to. So the first time that I had it, the components were like sweet and savory, but with a little bit of a body from chilies as well.
Usually I'm really picky and I don't like peanut butter, but this is one of the few dishes that like I eat really often.
It's one of my favorite dishes to go to, primarily because of the complexity of like peanut butter, chilies, and ginger. So in Ontario, we have the largest community of peanut farmers, but across Canada, a lot of farmers nowadays, they're trying to grow food that is culturally appropriate for many communities. Some farmers, they might grow garden eggs, and certain other farmers across Canada, they might grow choy or a variety of sweet potatoes as well. Over the years, I've learned that here in Ontario, the largest community of farmers of peanuts are here in Ontario. And that's the work that I do as a food advocate, promoting this intersectionality between local cuisine and diversity. So finding local ingredients, but at the same time celebrating cultural diversity as well. The other components will be peanut butter and tomato paste. One key component, again, is right here, shrimp powder, right? So we're gonna add the shrimp powder just a little bit. So when I went to this house, there was really no table because there were so many family members. You have a large platter, but you eat communally from the same platter with people. And at the very beginning, I wasn't really sure how comfortable I felt because I really didn't know these people. And there was this, it's called fufu. It's pounded cassava, maybe yam, maybe plantain, a combination of a variety of them. So you take this really soft, spongy dish with the peanut stew and the chicken. I was hooked with it. I loved it. It was like sweet, it was savory, there was a little bit of a heat, some acidity inside there, and it was like love at first bite. I just wanna smell and see how far it takes me back, you know. Very nice. The taste of actually dry shrimp powder with the chicken and the chili and the lime, it really brings me back to that particular place that I haven't been for so long. Beautiful memories of my personal experience with my mother trying West African cuisine. My love, it's based on finding this intersectionality between local food and diversity. So over the past 10 years, I've been really engaged in a lot of diverse farmers in growing food that is really imprinted in my DNA. That's one of the reasons why this dish is becoming part of my repertoire. So, what do you think? How was this this dish right here, the Poulet Mafé? Tell me, what do you think about it?
It looks good.
It looks good? What do you think?
I think it looks very good.
Very good. When I'm cooking this dish right here, it really makes me think about ayeyo. Ayeyo is the maternal term for my mother, which would be their grandmother, so it's ayeyo's grandmother. I'm really taking a moment to treasure this moment that I'm cooking with the two of you. I'm gonna try not to cry and be like the man that I am. I hope that this Canadian chicken makes you think about the opportunity to celebrate your own family and hopefully to pass down recipes from generation to generation. This is our family's legacy recipe.